real Siberius. And we about to get serious. It's the real Siberius. Making fanboys furious.
Welcome everyone to the Wednesday live stream with AOH Sports and Fitness Research Rants and Steam Engine. Robin, if you could do us the privilege of shouting out the people in the chat.
Of course, yes. Once again, man, we are back with another Wednesday edition, man. I always love being here on Wednesday with my people. Once again, this is all the video footage. My man AOH, you know the real Siberius. You heard Uncommon Sense voice in the beginning saying it's the real Siberius. You know who it is. We got my man Stream in the building. So you know we got a good show for you guys today, man. Once again, shout out to everybody in the chat that continues to come through and support our channels, man. I see Used Bucket 2 out there. QB to LB. Shout out to you, Anthony Sanchez. Mad Dog 9208. Once again, Ivan 1294. Renee is always in the building. Bandhead 07. Chip Ferguson, shout out to you, man. Prozac 623, J 1738, Ghetto C the General, Michael Gill, Speedy Eagle 2125, Love Them Skins, Callie Young. Once again, man, you guys know I'm truly humble. E. Alzerbag, John Freeman, Thankfully Through. You guys know the deal. Let's roll.
You look like Vince Carter. In the background.
So what do you guys want to dive into first? Was Eddie going to call in? And
you're not going to let Steam Engine say anything? I guarantee you he's going to be butthurt if you don't call on him. He wants to.
No, I don't. I'm not insecure. I don't need that.
Oh, yes, you are.
We're all good. Let's just keep it pushing.
To the people, Spain.
Hey, what up, everybody? I am here. Someone call 911 for Robin, please, just in case. Look out for nosebleeds. Look out for the nosebleeds.
Yo, shout out to Coco Hope, Gala Pagash, shout out to you, the Third Eye, Willie Williams, Justin R, Mac Bain Ill, the third, excuse me, J-Bo Music. Shout out to all you guys, man.
Yeah, with you, you're hosting, so I won't know. I think only you can see when he decides to try and come in, but let's continue with whatever topics were already on the agenda. My understanding is we have a pretty big list.
We do.
And I invited Eddie to come on for a couple of minutes just to address a couple of details of his Tristan Thompson video. It was a good video.
I mean, the first thing on my list is us reacting to some of those sound bites. I have mine queued up. If you want to queue yours up, we can start there.
Nah, let's start with yours.
All right, this is just a short one. I mean, it's D Wade talking about the 2011 championship. I had made a video about it yesterday. I'd never seen this video, and just some of the things that he said just sounded insane to me. So I wanted to get your guys' thoughts also.
Okay.
So here, I'll add it to the stage.
The Mav series.
We got all coached by Rick Carlisle and his staff. And we got all played by Dirk and Jason Terry and
that little
Barrera. JJ Barrera. Nobody give him credit. JJ Barrera was the one who changed this. We didn't have no answer for him. Okay, Dirk, you know what you're gonna do.
So I just have to stop it there. Just somebody saying we didn't have an answer for JJ Barea is insane to me.
I thought they had to go.
JJ Barea because I didn't know a lot about him.
I thought they had the league MVP.
They did, but they got out coached. They got outplayed.
Question, real quick. You guys were D Wade fans before he joined up with LeBron, right? Is that is no AOH Robin?
I was aware of his athleticism. I wouldn't say I was a fan.
All right, I'm just tired of this motherfucker.
I like D Wade.
He was such a likable player, man, and seeing him just cop these pleas and again play time travel basketball dressed like Peter Pan or some shit. Just just rambling about nothing, changing history when he's already a proven legend, as far as I'm concerned, because I am a D-Wade fan prior to his time with LeBron. It's just sad seeing him, someone of that stature, kind of fall to this. Like, I feel like he doesn't need that of all athletes. You know what I mean? Like, he shouldn't need to continue this. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
well, he's jumping on the excuse train, just like LeBron does, just like everybody does now.
Yeah.
You know what I thought about when I'm listening to that clip of Dwayne Wade speak? I'm thinking about all the times that we hear them promote LeBron James as the savant of basketball and this high IQ, and he sees the plays before they happen. He knows where the other teams are running. Because I understand and I get being outcoached. Rick Carlisle is an underrated basketball coach, in my opinion. I don't think he gets his just due. So I understand, you can say, we were outcoached, and you're trying to say that you're making an excuse here. But when you talk about the things that happen on the basketball court, and they couldn't stop this guy, they couldn't stop that guy, this is what we're talking about with LeBron James' IQ. Where was the savant, the genius of basketball to figure these kinds of things out? It's not necessarily about making shots or missing shots in these moments, but it's about the figuring it out of those kinds of moments or in these moments. And LeBron James, more often than not, never seems to figure it out. He needs his teammates to step up, right, and play a role for him. So when I hear Dwayne Wade talking about, all those things that they couldn't figure out, where was LeBron James, the savant of basketball? Because when they promote him, they're not just promoting him being a smart basketball player. When you hear them talk about LeBron James, they tell you, in fact, that he has the highest IQ in the history of the game. So you tell me the smartest basketball player ever is having all these issues, figuring out the issues when he needs to figure them out.
It's an excellent point.
Craziness, man.
All right, so let's continue.
Just UD, make his shots tough, make it hard on him. He try to make him not shoot 50%, make him have an off night, but he's still gonna get 20. Jason Terry going right, you can't stop him. Right? We know all these things. But no one playing for little JJ.
Right. What is he talking about? When was Jason Terry ever deemed unstoppable, with the exception of against I can't even fucking speak. It's so stupid what he's saying. When was he ever seen as this force? Ever? When has anybody ever said anything positive about Jason Terry outside of those finals that would give him this kind of stature?
Yo, Speed.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Both of those players, Jason Terry, JJ Barea, never won an all defense, never won an all NBA. They have no accolades on their basketball reference page other than 2011 champs. They have nothing else.
Wild.
How are they touted as these gods now when they've been nothing?
I mean, what the fuck are we doing? Like, the people who ask these athletes these questions, they have to be laughing to themselves on the inside. Like, you should be able to see them just stopping themselves from, like, that's just like, what are we doing here?
Yo, what's funny, man? All the narratives, that we talk about, the promotion, it's all being exposed in this kind of series. And as Dwayne Wade is talking about this series overall, when they talk about, LeBron James and, he's never the favorite. Michael Jordan was always the favorite. That's why he won. Well, you guys were the favorite in 2011. And what happened? So obviously being the quote unquote favorite doesn't guarantee you a damn thing. So that's a narrative that gets exposed in the Dallas Mavericks, series right there. And what else I'm thinking about as I listen to Dwayne Wade speak, I'm remembering Dwayne Wade mocking Dirk Nowitzki walking into the game because they heard Dirk Nowitzki might be under the weather. So all those things going, Dwayne Wade saying, we knew about Jason Terry and, him going to the right. We knew about Dirk Nowitzki. We knew about this guy. Yeah, you knew all of that, and still you made fun of Dirk Nowitzki and you mocked this man coming into a NBA Finals game. What great superstar player, right? That's a true competitor is going out to mock the other superstar that you're competing against. And what did Dirk Nowitzki do? He took it personal against them dudes.
Robin, real quick, that entire moment was a microcosm of LeBron as a man, as a teammate, because if you remember, he didn't start mocking Dirk until he saw D Wade doing it.
Yep.
Because once he saw D Wade doing a little fake cough thing, you see LeBron doing it about 5 or 6 seconds later, like a little brother, or I guess a little sister in this reference. And it's just like the follower was prevalent in him then, just behind the scenes. You didn't even have to look that hard for it.
Now, does this video mention God, or does that come later in the excuse train? Because
I think that may come later. They definitely bring it up. But I think that was Rich Paul years and years later talking about God.
Yeah, this year. This
Yeah.
year.
Oh,
Okay, so they hadn't they weren't they didn't realize at the time God was against them. It was a 2026 story. Okay.
Rich Paul out of his mouth. God didn't want to see you win as a villain. What the bro? What the? We're in World War III. What the fuck are we talking about here? What?
All right, let's just finish this up real quick.
Come off the bench and do what he did.
Right.
And I look at it and I say not from an MVP as an award, but from an MVP as a player who really helped push that series over, I give it to JJ because we didn't have no answer for him.
Wow.
Like, and you'll see a clip where I'm cursing LeBron out. I'm in his ear. I'm talking to him.
I mean, I hate to quit pausing it, but what the hell did you just say?
JJ Barea deserved the MVP? Is that what he said?
Oh, yo, Cybeers, let it run. What is he about to say? He goes, I'm talking to him. What is he saying?
All right.
But that probably wasn't the way I should have done it. Or maybe I should have done something else.
Right.
And so we were more talented, but they were a better team.
So wait, so they weren't out talented? Did the Dallas Mavericks were not out talented? Did apparently they're just a better team.
We need to start writing these words down that they make up for future reference. Just have a collection.
I mean,
this
it's
is just
almost
laughable stuff. The things that Dwayne Wade says, and he's saying this laughing and smiling as if he's saying something that can be seen as, yeah, man, what could you do, man? They got us, man, and we weren't prepared for JJ Barea. And this is not funny. You guys went to a show and said not one, not two, that's what's funny. That's the funny stuff here. The fact that you guys all these years later, I'm like, yeah, we had a bunch of minimum guys. What was JJ Barea's contract? Was he a max contract player? Was he making all this money? But you're talking about minimum guys. And I have another thing to ask. And I don't want to get through down the road because we talked about a lot of this, race thing before. But in the terms of the Dallas Mavericks, Dirk Nowitzki's a white guy, right? He's a white dude. Is JJ Barea a white dude? He's Puerto Rican, but he's white. He looks pretty damn white. So does he constitute a white dude? And Jason Kidd's pretty damn light-skinned. So did they have 3 white guys on that team whooping y'all ass? I really got to know.
Well, no, they didn't consider Jason Kidd black until he beat his wife, Sports and Fitness. You got to remember that. They didn't start calling him black until he started getting in those domestic disputes. Now all of a sudden he's black.
Yo, shout out to Uncut Hoops.
Shout out to Jason Kidd. Shout out to those who are victims of domestic violence. Let's do that. In Alaska. Didn't you shout out Alaska last week, Robin?
I did shout out Alaska.
Yeah, shout out Alaska.
Antarctica, you're right.
Yeah. Shout out to domestic violence abusers in Alaska. Get them in prison.
Yo, Uncut Hoops, shout out to you, man.
Here, I want to get to a few of these supers real quick. Al Sabag, my whole Facebook is full of LeBron fans crying about LeBron not getting Defensive Player of the Year in 2013. Where was that defensive prowess when he was 2 years younger against Jason Terry? Great to see you all live. Thank you, Al Sabag.
I don't know if you guys
are back for real. That's a great point because that's the reality. More promotion. They promote LeBron James, Defensive Player of the Year status, and all this great defense. Oh, he shut down Derrick Rose in 2011, and then you couldn't stop Jason Terry. You couldn't stop JJ Barea though.
Are the dumbest people on the planet on Facebook?
Yeah.
For sports, yeah. Don't be doing no basketball talk on there.
Holy shit.
He won first team all defense in 2011. That should be revoked. After your performance in the finals, they need to strip that away.
Yeah.
Also, real quick, the real Donald Trump breaking news: Lil Diddy is signing with the Hawks. If that's true, I hadn't heard that.
I mean, they've projected pretty much every team in the NBA at this point. I'm not sure why
they sure have AOH. The list goes from 5 teams to 15 teams to 27 teams. It's laughable.
Yep.
One more. The Zip. JJ Barea is sent by God to stop LeBron Judas James.
You mentioned something, Speem. Do you think we could can you poll what somebody's race is? Can we just have a vote on whether or not JJ is officially white, or even if Jason Kidd is a little bit higher percentage white, because that alone would defeat what's his name? SAS is
Stephen.
recent
Well,
point
so
about three.
AOH. I
That's
didn't
what
know
I was
when
trying
you
to
wanted to. I didn't know when you wanted to talk about this in the show. But you mentioned in that video that you shared with me, you went back to the lack of talking about Greg Ostertag, and I'm not going to speak too much more on your content because it's your content. But you really, when you talk about prominent players like Stephen A. was, when he used the word prominent, it's such a catch-all to say whatever the fuck you want to say, right?
Right.
And if you want to talk about prominent players, well, then OKC won with 3 fucking white players literally the season before. And if you want to play the race card game, it was like the Brady Bunch, basically, if you really want to think about it. So you only have to go back one season to see quote unquote 3 white prominent players win a ring. And for Stephen A. not catch that, as somebody who's watched basketball for decades, like he clearly had to be emotional saying some stupid shit like he was saying, is all I'm saying.
It was intentional. I mean, he probably even knows the white teams that he overlooked. He was just trying to get engagement. But this is why I'm mad. I'm not mad about the race part. I'm mad about the stupid people that exist that are going to react to Stephen A. Smith and be like, oh, no lies told here. And Robin, you probably didn't see it. I should send you the unlisted videos. They're in my members section. I went off on one of these dudes. For some reason, Facebook.
I watched it.
Oh, you did? For some reason, YouTube is channeling these morons to me, even though I don't want to see them. I'm like, God damn. Case in point.
Well, they do the same thing to me.
But here's one thing. I didn't say this in my video, but if it's if having 3 white dudes on the team means you're not going to win the championship, do we not have 29 fucking teams in the NBA that didn't win a championship? So I could be a Stephen A. Smith and argue, well, apparently the formula of having mostly black guys on the team isn't working because 29 teams aren't getting to the promised land. That's how meaningless Stephen A. Smith's point is. Like almost everyone isn't getting to the promised land.
Word. You're right.
What is the promised land? Is it actually winning the chip? Is it being to the finals? Is it the conference finals?
Well, it depends on who they're talking about, right? Because if it's LeBron James, then success varies. The standard for LeBron James is different than everybody else.
Losing is success with LeBron James.
Right.
That's what it's become.
Stabbing people in the back is loyalty with LeBron James.
I mean, think about the offseason right now. We're talking about with LeBron James and everyone's, making it about LeBron James. I actually heard some comments from Jamie Foxx, and he said that LeBron James is so valuable to the NBA still because everyone's always talking about him, he was saying, right? And he was talking about how the New York Knicks won the championship after 53 years, but all you see and hear is about LeBron James in the offseason. And the funny thing is about those comments is he's saying that like it's a testament to LeBron James and his greatness and how box office he is and how much he is and mean to the NBA still. But the reality is the fact that ESPN continues to talk about LeBron James shows how stupid and once again, why no one really watches ESPN anymore for its basketball content, because they can be relied upon to give you the actual facts and promote the NBA the right way. We talk about this all the time. They talk about LeBron James and the Lakers in the offseason. They talk about him during the season when they're a mediocre basketball team at best, but they continue to talk about them. The Lakers are contenders. The Lakers are contenders. They can tell you they're contenders until they're not contenders. And then they make an excuse for why they weren't contenders. They keep telling us that Luka Doncic was the reason why they lost to the Minnesota Timberwolves. It wasn't LeBron James not doing a damn thing out there. It wasn't his fault. It was Luka Doncic not being in shape. And then they blame him not being there in the playoffs this season. It can't be both ways. Either you don't need him because he's a problem on the defensive end, or you do need him. I mean, hell, Max Kellerman said they should think about trading him during the season. Yep. So, I mean, why would you want him on the court then? LeBron James can do no wrong.
Luka was the Lakers statistic leader in that Minnesota series, by the way. So why wasn't LeBron if Luka was the problem, then I don't know. That's one of those arguments that LeBron fans will flip back and forth. If you're the statistic leader and it's LeBron, then it means that you can't be questioned. But anyone else is the statistic leader, you can still blame them.
Yeah, but also think about it like this, though. Between Austin Reeves and Luka, you're looking at, 60 points, roughly, give or take. Now, all of a sudden, that's not good enough to like that's not getting you there. When I mean, what? What are Austin Reeves was touted as this just irreplaceable number 2 option for the Lakers, blah blah blah. And now all of a sudden, well, what are you going to do with Austin Reeves and Luka? I mean, it's like within the same season, you can't even keep the same narrative. You know how weird that is?
You're right.
You know what's crazy about all these clips, that the side beers that you put out here with Dwayne Wade and all these kinds of clips, whenever we hear these guys talk about the 2011, the finals with the Mavericks, you never hear these guys once just say, yeah, man, we got ass whooped, man. We just wasn't good like that, man. We didn't do enough. We were the favorite. We should have won that series. We choked it up. You never hear them talk about mocking Dirk Nowitzki. You never hear them say, yeah, man, we were stupid, man, and Dirk bust out butt. He's over here talking about J.J. Barea. Meanwhile, Dirk Nowitzki was averaging damn near 10 points a game in the fourth quarter alone during that series. But he's like, yeah, because that J.J. Barea. Now you fools was trying to make fun of Dirk Nowitzki like a bunch of clowns. Did Karl Malone and John Stockton mock Michael Jordan when they heard he might have been sick coming into Game 5 in 1997? No, they didn't mock him and laugh about the situation. Were they laughing in the huddle when they found out that Scottie Pippen was hobbled in Game 6 in 1998? You think they were laughing about that? You thought they were like, yeah, man, we got him. We finally got him. Pippen's hobbled. Hell no. They didn't take it lightly. I remember Jerry Sloan after the game when they were talking to him. He was like, oh, he was sick? He goes, I didn't know he was sick. He didn't seem, Jerry Sloan had no freaking idea that Michael Jordan was supposed to be feeling sick that game because he was like, it didn't seem sick to me.
My phone's getting hot.
Read 24 Jam Kid.
Yeah. All right. 24 Jam Kid. So LeBum shut down the MVP Derrick Rose the series prior, but JJ Barea is unstoppable. You really can't make this crap up. You can't. It's
like
such
Sping
bullshit.
just said. They can't.
Yep.
The story changes whenever they want it to, and the human population is dumb enough to go with whichever direction they're told to go, which brings us back to what you said about Jamie Foxx. And shame on Jamie Foxx. That's very disappointing to hear.
He's a fan. He's a known glazer. He is the like one of the top. What, like, I guess you get a badge or some bullshit. Like, he's one of those guys. Like that, he's there for LeBron about everything.
If we've learned anything, people will respond to whatever news is put out to them. So acting like you need LeBron James is nonsense. Whatever ESPN tells people to tune into, that's what they'll tune into. There's more interesting stuff to tune into. What Speam, you showed us the screenshot that LeBron and Draymond plan to hang out. Plans to hang out?
Yeah,
is NBA
right.
news now?
That was a Shams story.
Come on,
that was a Shams story that he broke.
NBA Insider.
They're planning on hanging out.
Ain't
that some shit?
Thank God no one was telling me who Michael Jordan was planning to hang out on the weekends, because I would have been fucking weirded out by the news. Don't fucking tell me what he's doing in his off time. That's his business, God damn it. It's not basketball information.
To your point, AOH, real quick, what makes Jordan's dominance and Kobe's dominance just as touted as, possibly the greatest of all time, what makes it even crazier is they didn't have the press machine behind them like LeBron does now. If anything, after the alleged rape case, Kobe had mostly negative press, but the fans still fucked with him. They still backed him, like Mamba mentality. Yeah, it was a rebrand, but it worked. And Kobe is still seen as a great, kind of having the media against him. Jordan is obviously the greatest of all time. Didn't even need the media backing. To this day, doesn't need the media backing. No. But here we are being inundated with information about LeBron James, being told about how great he is 24/7. And we still know the difference.
We should really have a journalist. We should have a journalist doing a deep dive into the injustice being done to the other players in the league, because Jamie Foxx is sitting there bragging about LeBron dominating the news during the finals. And I went off on this. I was like, This man has zero respect for the NBA and the other players in the NBA, that he can't shut his fucking mouth about his plans until at least after the finals are over with. And Jamie Foxx doesn't understand the flaw in that. And if the media had any integrity, they would ignore his ass and talk about the goddamn people who made it to the finals.
Right.
For sure. Well, and here's another super, and it actually brings up an excellent point. Chaps37 says this is the first time in Braun's career where Braun isn't abandoning his team. Rather, it's the team that is parting ways with him. Why is that not a topical conversation?
Oh, haven't you watched ESPN? No, LeBron broke up with the Lakers.
Well, no, I mean,
yeah, Ramona Shelburne. She really is something else.
Listen, that's a great segue. That's actually what I wanted to talk about. Those were the screenshots I sent Siberius, because I wanted to take a look at some of Ramona Shelburne's great integrity.
So I labeled them 1 through 4. I don't know exactly which one you want me to bring up.
Oh, that was a mistake. They're not in any kind of order. You can just bring them up.
Okay. Well, here's the first one. So I'll let you take the lead on this. Go ahead with it.
I don't see anything, Siberius.
Oh, come on, dude.
It's on the screen.
It's like 90% of the screen.
Oh, I'm on my phone, so I can't see it. That's weird.
That is weird.
Do you want me to just read it out?
Just read it, please.
I mean,
okay.
You were going to have to read to it anyway. You didn't want Speam to read, did you?
That's funny. That was a good one.
Yeah, that was good. That was pretty bad.
That was good. No, that was good. I'll give you credit.
Didn't even deliver it very well.
That was good.
All right. The 10-day European trip James recently took to commemorate the 10th anniversary of the Cleveland Cavaliers 2016 NBA title. Let's just stop right there. What finals deserves a 10-year anniversary? Why? Have they ever done this before?
Good point. Good point.
It's never been done before. Why the fuck is it being done now?
Good point.
Okay, so anyway, I don't want to get off.
Wait. Because this reminds us of every time that they announced some milestone that LeBron achieved this year. What did we do? We stopped and we said, wait a minute. I didn't even know about the dude that he passed. Because this wasn't a goddamn thing until they made it a thing. And time again, you're being told.
Just like those patches.
You goddamn sheep. You're being told to go off the cliff and you're obediently doing it. Think for yourselves. None of this shit's worth being happy about or excited about or impressed by.
It's not even noteworthy. Who cares? All right. So anyway, let me continue. To commemorate the 10th anniversary of the Cleveland Cavaliers 2016 NBA title, certainly provided him a contrast to his recent experience with the Lakers. You mean being fucking swept?
Okay, so let me chime in real quick, Siberius, because this is the point that I wanted to get across. I think the main reason behind this whole 10-year anniversary thing, right, was to create this contrast between how he was treated with the Cavs, or at least this is how it's being perceived, and I think the intent, how he was treated with the Cavs, them giving him a championship, them blah, 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 versus how he's being treated with the Lakers. This is why he didn't want to re-sign with the Lakers. This is why he gave up on them, as opposed to vice versa. So this whole 10-year reunion thing supposedly put things in perspective for him and how he wanted to be treated. That's why I wanted to bring this up, because that's how this whole thing is being kind of carted out as this, well, this is what it's like to be appreciated, and this is what the Lakers were not doing for me. And I'm just like, are you fucking serious? Like, are you kidding me? This is what we're doing now?
See, this is the problem. All right. And that's actually a weird spin and a weird, angle that they're trying to put on this whole thing, if that is in fact the case with this whole anniversary. Because the whole thing to me is just weird. Because if you think about it, and the reports you're hearing, Timothy Mozgov supposedly wasn't invited to it. And if you think about someone like J.R. Smith, for example, dude, what the hell are you doing there? Like, why would you ever want to be around someone like LeBron James? If you're J.R. Smith, think about your basketball career. All the things that you did in your career individually. What are you remembered for? You're remembered for not knowing the score and the time in the NBA Finals. You're known as part of the LeBron James meme. You will always be remembered for this. You'll never be remembered for anything else you did. And why will you remember this way? Because your teammate, LeBron James, supposed to be the leader of the team, he did that to you. He put you on that spot in that moment. We go back to the high IQ of LeBron James. LeBron James did not know the time, did not know the situation, and he put it on J.R. Smith. LeBron James telling J.R. Smith to shoot the ball. Why he called timeout? Then he goes to the sideline and asks Ty Lue, hey, do we have any timeouts left? You should have known that. You're the savant of basketball. So if we think about this whole 2016 celebration, this whole damn thing is lame as hell, man. I mean, did they ask Draymond Green to go there? He was part of the celebration, wasn't he? He got suspended. He helped them out, didn't he? He got the kick heard around the world, man. So you got to invite Draymond Green. But anyway, this stuff, like I said, is really weird when you think about how they're doing these kinds of things and the way that they do it. Again, LeBron James being a weird individual, man.
Well, did they ever celebrate? Did the Bulls ever celebrate either of their fucking three-peats 10 years later?
No.
Did the Lakers ever celebrate a fucking? And that's a three-peat. That's a three-peat. That is so hard to do. I mean,
there has to be some time in NBA's history where a team celebrated the anniversary of a championship. There has to have been. Absolutely. I'm not going to sit here and say that no team ever celebrated an anniversary for a title. You know, maybe it was, you said maybe it was a special run. You know, whatever the case may be. We can't sit here and say that some guys going to get together and have a dinner or something like that. But like you said, why is this part of a new story in, you know, for basketball? This shouldn't even be a story. But instead, they're making a story about nothing because there's more promotion for LeBron James. And again, LeBron James is a great teammate. Look how close he is with these guys. This is nonsense. Why was Kyrie Irving not there?
If there had been a Bulls reunion, the photo op wouldn't look like they were at a wedding reception. Fucking groomsmen.
Sipping wine with some tight ass clothes on. Looking like a bunch of soft feminine fools, man.
Right,
dancing up on
wine.
each other. Just grinding on each other. Making weird.
I told you, the nerve of J.R. Smith for going there. Dude, what are you standing on? You ain't standing on nothing. You don't embarrass the hell out of me. And you're going to say, I mean, that would be like LeBron James and Russell Westbrook hanging out. If I saw Russell Westbrook hanging out with LeBron James outside, I would be like, dude, why are you hanging out with LeBron James? You were taking death threats as his teammate.
Well, you made an interesting point, Robin, because what LeBron did should have embarrassed him.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
It's that simple. J.R.
Well,
Smith
Kevin Love shouldn't have been there either. Dwayne Wade
Agreed.
shouldn't be kissing LeBron's ass. Dan Gilbert should have never allowed LeBron to come back. Now we're looking at LeBron possibly getting to go there 3 times. I mean,
Right.
what does anyone become?
No one stands on nothing.
Fake ass everywhere.
Don't no one stand on nothing. We hear all these stories. Oh, yeah, man, they got into it. Oh, this person this. Oh, that person that. And the next day, nothing. The next season, nothing. Oh, yeah, I'm thinking about going back there. They talk about he might go back to Miami. How could he possibly be able to go back to Miami after the cookie story? How are you going to go back after the cookies, man? Come on, it's insane. Some of these stories are laughable. You hear he trying to get Eric Spoelstra fired, but he's going to go back and play for Eric Spoelstra again?
I mean, yeah, that's crazy. That shouldn't even be allowed. It shouldn't
Insane.
be on the table.
To me, that would be mad disrespectful to Eric Spoelstra.
Speed, you are in here twice.
Yeah, I told you when Robin yells, it fucks my phone up. I wasn't joking.
Damn.
Oh, jeez. It's your fault, Robin.
I know, man. My bad, Speen. I get hype. You know, I get hype out here.
That's crazy. Anyway, yeah. I mean, did you want me to read more of this, Speem?
No, I think that's a good enough jumping off point. The main point I wanted to get across was that this whole thing is being spinned to make it seem like the Lakers weren't doing everything they needed to do to keep him, which, by the way, drafting his son is the most egregious thing I've ever seen in sports. Ever.
Well, I mean, as you know, as this screenshot goes on, they're literally talking about how the Lakers decided to go with Doncic. They were running all of their plans by him. And then left unsaid at the meeting as whether the future included one of the greatest players in NBA history. Get the fuck out of here.
I mean,
Like they were just leaving LeBron high and dry.
think about the narrative we just heard. Oh, if the Knicks didn't win the championship, LeBron James was going to go to the Knicks. Yo, that's such a lame-ass narrative to put out there because that was part of the thing with LeBron James back when he made that decision. Is that, there were people hoping that he was going to go to the New York Knicks. And there were a lot of people saying, hey, man, come to the New York Knicks. Turn the franchise around. They haven't won a championship in forever. And LeBron James could have went to the New York Knicks, but he didn't go to the New York Knicks. So they talked about, these kinds of things and LeBron James being afraid in the moment to go to New York by himself and be the guy to turn the franchise around. So all these years later, now you want to talk about, yeah, he would have went to the Knicks. But they won a championship. So, LeBron James, like he's a competitor like that. Like that really was going to stop LeBron James. You think LeBron James cares about going to a team that just won a championship? Come on, man.
Isn't
Oh,
this
he would
not
jump on that
an
boat
example?
if he could.
Go ahead, Siberius.
Exactly.
No, it's given the and that's one thing that I found. I mean, I'm sure all of you guys saw Rich Paul with his whiteboard talking about there are 10 teams, and then he's trying to boil it down to 3 teams. There's
5
no
to 10
way
to
there-
12. 5 to 10 to 12.
5 to 10 to 12 to 25.
27.
Well,
I
so
mean, how many off seasons did we hear Stephen A. Smith say the last couple of years? Yeah, man, I'll take LeBron James in New York. Hey, we'll take LeBron James. Remember, he kept talking for the New York Knicks fans, and we kept saying, yo, the Knicks fans do not want LeBron James in New York, man. There was no true New York Knicks fan that wanted LeBron James. But Stephen A. Smith, who's celebrating the New York Knicks championship, who talks about how much of a New York Knicks fan he is, how much that championship meant to him, he was the one promoting LeBron James to go to the New York Knicks for the last several off seasons now.
Yeah.
And everybody say, nah, we don't want the Knicks, that dude on the Knicks. So absolutely don't tell me now, oh yeah, he would have went to the Knicks, but they won the championship. Shut the hell up.
isn't this not tampering? How is this any different than when he said, whatever team drafts my son, I'll go to them as well? How is this not manipulating the rules, tampering, things of that nature? You're openly kind of advertising yourself like some kind of hooker to each of these teams, right? And that's just the above board stuff that we see. Nobody mentions plain as day that, by the way, your best friend is an agent who also represents players that you're interested in playing with. The whole thing, if you're not a fan of basketball, if you've never watched NBA basketball ever, you would look at that and say, this is shady.
Yeah, right.
Like, do you know what I mean? Like, if you have any sense at all, if you've ever watched a crime thriller, you'd say, this is some mafia type shit. He has his hands in every single pot only for the benefit of him and his legacy.
If you didn't know anything about this, if you weren't a LeBron hater like I am, and if you weren't a LeBron fanboy at the other end of the spectrum, and you saw what is happening in the media right now, hair should stand up on the back of your neck. Something should tell you that something's wrong with the absolute gusto that every single one of them came charging out, trying to tell a story that it was LeBron who left the Lakers. It's like, you're overcompensating, people. You're basically announcing it. And even today, another one, Colin Cowherd's title, and he put in all caps the broke up. The rest of the titles regularly punctuated. He puts in all caps, broke up. Why LeBron broke up with the Lakers. And they just keep going and going and going. I mean, I would say you're not fooling anyone. Unfortunately, that's not true. There's a massive stupid population out there.
I mean,
they
speaking,
just
you
eat
want
it up.
go ahead. Oh, my bad.
No, go ahead.
Go ahead, Real Siberius. Go ahead, man.
I'm sick and tired of this shit.
He was about to give me a
one
compliment. Let him
ever
go,
called them
Siberius.
out on it. No one ever calls them out on it. They just get to say whatever the hell they want, whenever they want. Their organization doesn't hold them accountable. Fans don't hold them accountable. The NBA doesn't hold them. There's absolutely no accountability. And I don't know how to hold them accountable. I mean, we call them out on our channels, but there are no repercussions for that. Though I do believe, and I see it more and more, the things that pop up in sports media have come from smaller content creators. I genuinely believe that they are seeing it. They may never acknowledge it, but I've heard them say things you've said, Robin. I've heard them say, things that AOH has said. I believe that they're seeing the message. They're obviously just not fucking getting it.
No, you're right. And the sad thing is that the burden is becoming on us now. Like, now we have the burden as content creators to be more accurate and more truthful. And actually, the burden's on us to actually make sure that we did our homework and we're doing our research to give you guys the facts as we see them, more so than these guys on the mainstream media. And we're supposed to be the content creators that's not supposed to have that kind of burden. But again, the burden's on us. Speed mentioned, the tampering and stuff like that. If you think about the Anthony Davis coming to the Lakers and the whole situation and Rich Paul's the agent, imagine what the LeBron James fans would say now if Scottie Pippen got to the Bulls under those kinds of
Oh my God,
ways. I mean, people would be up in arms right now if Michael Jordan's agent was representing Scottie Pippen and he got in the force of trade to the Bulls, and then the next season the Bulls won 3 championships in a row. They would be talking about that all the time. Yeah, man, Michael Jordan's best friend was representing Scottie Pippen, and that's how he got Scottie Pippen to the team, and that's how they talk about it now, as if that's what happened. Meanwhile, LeBron James really got his best friend to get one of the top players in the league on his team, and he's the agent of that guy, and they won the championship the season he got there.
No championship, Robin. Let me correct you there. They won the bubble. They didn't win a championship. You're right 99.99% of the time. I just have to correct you there. They did not win a championship.
Remember, man, in the annals of the history books, they're credited with a championship, but no one respects that championship. That's for damn sure.
No, absolutely not. Here, I want to get caught up on some of these supers before we get too far behind. Thinking through 1642, the Glazer Unchained. I'm assuming that's from when we were talking about Jamie Foxx.
It's funny.
All right, praise the dawn. Honestly, it should have been LeBron on that ride, not Kobe. World would have been a much better place if Kobe was still here. So sick of LeBron.
Wow.
Yeah. All right, Red Factor 216. I'm from Cleveland. I'll admit I was happy for us to win the 2016 title. That said, I was not happy about the way he was centered versus the rest of the team. His ego nearly ruined the triumph.
You really think you won that, huh?
I'll bet you Kyrie didn't want to go on that stupid trip because he knew what it was.
Yeah.
Just like Kyrie wanted out of Cleveland because he knew it was just the LeBron machine. And they painted him as the bad guy. Well, he just doesn't want to win. How do you not want to play with LeBron? Probably the same reason he didn't want to go on this stupid ass 10-year reunion tour, because he knew what it was. He strikes me as somebody who's just there to play basketball or pass on the sport of basketball, not play into all these circus games.
I know what you mean, though, Red Factor. And it's good to know that someone from Cleveland was aware of LeBron's ego getting in the way of the celebration. And
for sure.
Apparently, he was thinking in that moment, I'm going to trade Kyrie. Because you remember it came out later that LeBron tried to get Kyrie traded.
Right.
That's
behind his back.
That's fucking nuts.
Exactly.
And that's why
won you a ring.
That's why I was going to have Eddie TV call in today, because he was talking about Tristan Thompson went on a podcast saying that LeBron planned on handing Kyrie the keys. And it's like, come on.
Soft-spoken ass Tristan Thompson.
Yeah. But
how are you going to spin that narrative when there's proof that he was trying to go behind Kyrie's back to get him traded?
Right.
Because all you have to do is say shit, Siberius. That's all you have to do. Sorry, AOH, not to step on your point, but I'm gonna do something about it. All you have to do is say something. I'm still on AOH's point. You don't have to back anything up. Just say it, and the people move on from it. That's it. That's all you need.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy when you think about, like, you had Kyrie Irving in 2016, and Kyrie Irving, man, from games 3 to game 7, that man was sensational, man. I watched every one of those games multiple times, man. And Kyrie Irving was outstanding. I mean, some of the shots that Kyrie Irving was hitting in that game, I mean, incredible. Some of the moves that he was putting on out there. And, you know, when you talk about the moments that Kyrie Irving had and how they're not giving him any credit, it's laughable when you think about this stuff. And, you know, you mentioned Tristan Thompson and some of the comments for Tristan Thompson. It's laughable for Tristan Thompson to talk about him, you know, handing over the keys. And I actually did a video on the same topic because Kyrie Irving already had the keys to Cleveland before LeBron James got there. And the problem for someone like LeBron James is, like you guys mentioned, him trying to get Kyrie Irving traded, even though he was doing his thing. The grass is always greener for LeBron James. He's one of those guys. He's never humbled with the situation and tries to maximize what he has. It's always what he doesn't have. So I've always told you guys, and I continue to preach you guys on my channel, always think about what you do have. Don't worry about what you don't have or what someone else has. LeBron James always worried about someone else has or what he doesn't have instead of working out with what he does have. So when you have Kyrie Irving, but no, I want Chris Paul instead of Kyrie Irving, it doesn't make any sense. Michael Jordan needed help. He got help, and he was good. LeBron James needs help. He gets help. Needs help again, gets help, needs help again.
Yep. There was a segment at the end of Eddie's video that showed Kyrie Irving being interviewed by ESPN, Stephen A. Smith, as a matter of fact, and trying to make him feel bad about the way it went down or the communication involved or not involved. And really? How many places has LeBron James left without notice? In fact, I'm pretty sure I heard Dwayne Wade recently talking about being kind of upset about the way that LeBron left Miami. I'm like, dude, LeBron didn't tell you anything after what you did to help LeBron James in Miami. But will you ever hear Stephen A. Smith go after LeBron James like that? You think you ever get Stephen A. Smith to sit down across from LeBron James and ask him a difficult question like that, the way he did to Kyrie Irving?
No, he doesn't have the balls to. He'd rather just stand up to him at a Knicks game in front of everybody to see.
No, but that's another great point, though. You made LH about the difficult questions that, you know, someone like LeBron James doesn't get asked. I remember we talked and laughed, you know, last year about Steve Nash and the comments that he made about the, you know, creatine and his, you know, things that he and LeBron James scoffed at creatine. He was almost shocked that, you know, he would actually ask him if he was taking creatine. And a lot of this stuff is just laughable, man. Like I said, when you think about the things that LeBron James, the questions that he's never asked and the questions that he does get asked, whenever you hear these reporters ask LeBron James a question, it's always so he can celebrate and promote himself. That's always, hey, man, how'd you go out there and do it again, LeBron? How'd you do it, damn it? My God, man, I don't know how you did it again. You did it, though. Meanwhile, his teammates did everything out there. LeBron James is standing around the video footage. He couldn't make it across half court, but there he goes the post game, and they telling you, damn, man, you really are damn.
Nah, Robin, there's a pattern you have to pay attention to. When they win, they ask them, you know, well, what did you do great? And when they lose, they just ask them what it's like to be a great father and a great husband. you have to pay attention to the patterns. That's all. Or they ask him about his I Promise school or some bullshit.
Right.
The one that made me laugh was when the Brazilian reporter talked about him being, you know, clutch his entire career. And LeBron was so stunned because he knew it was bullshit. He didn't even know how to react to it because he
looked
knew
like
it was
he wanted to have
a
sex.
fucking lie.
He thanked them.
Oh, he was fucking getting chubbed.
I would prefer not to continue down this path.
He was looking at that reporter with lust in his eyes.
Oh, he was thirsty, all right.
Yikes! Let's switch gears, please.
Yeah. AOH, did you have any sound bites that you wanted to for us to react to?
No, I didn't. I didn't line them up. I had like so many that I decided I couldn't decide which one I wanted to do. But I did. I did want to mention. I think I heard.
So you're like LeBron James. You can't decide what team you want to go to because there's so many teams that you want to go to.
You know, I'll tolerate a lot. Don't ever fucking compare me to LeBron James.
I was referring you to the situation. Come on, man.
Nope. 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 No, no
AOH, are you not going to talk about the videos you sent?
I was going to mention, I only played 2 segments from the Rick Bucher podcast, and for the sake of time, I didn't get to the part where Rick Bucher was talking about LeBron. I think it was the basketball show did include that part. And, you know, Rick Bucher said, to the Lakers' credit, they let LeBron bow out with grace. So they let him pretend like it was his decision. And apparently that was enough to upset people. I haven't listened to other the reactions. I mean, I can only listen to so many in a day, but apparently even Rick Bucher saying that caused ESPN to fucking shit themselves.
Well, there were some fanboys in basketball shows comments going off about it. Ridiculous.
I kind of shelved the sound bites that I was going to do in case we were actually going to devote any time breaking down exactly how stupid the fan of Stephen A. Smith was.
Yeah. Do you have that? Do you have that video of him talking to that, or that guy responding to him, or reacting to him, or whatever?
It's 18 minutes long, and my reaction is 30.
Well, I watched some of that video. What were the main points you could hit on that video, AOH?
Oh, I gave Speam homework because he said he liked it, and I said, "Can you?"
Can you
mention what you liked about it?
I did want to talk about it.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, well, and I talked about this earlier in the show, but I wanted to talk about specific word usage within that video. And you referenced the phrase "modern era," right? Because the dude switched up what Stephen A. Smith said. I forget what Stephen A. originally said. What, all time, and then this guy changed it to modern era.
He said NBA history.
NBA history, right? So when you use basically the equivalent of a hashtag, right, saying something like modern era, it's really easy to say something like that because you don't have to stand on anything. You can just say it, and it's the proof that you need. So this whole having prominent white players, you know, you're using the word prominent. Well, what does prominent mean? Because again, OKC just won with 3 prominent white players. By the way, Luka, prominent white player. All right. So at what point do we just call it what it is, actual racism, instead of what this guy was saying? AOH, forgive me because I don't remember the specific term he used, but it was basically saying that he wasn't assigning the race to it. But that's exactly what you're doing.
I thought that maybe there was a warning when anytime someone hears what they want to hear and they actually argue something that wasn't on the table. We get that with fanboys all the time. Like they'll just say, well, why did you say this? I'm like, actually, we haven't. In fact, our entire show hasn't mentioned that whatsoever. You came in here and wanted to talk about something. So sometimes people hear what they want to hear because it's already what's in the back of their minds. And therefore, I'm sure he heard Stephen A. Smith say modern era when in fact Stephen A. Smith said NBA history, and it allowed him to say what was already on his mind.
And something else that you noticed, that I noticed as well, I was saying it to myself as it happened, when Stephen A. says, well, somebody had to say it. A, right. Nobody had to say shit, right? B, you saying that doesn't make it true. C, you saying it doesn't make it declarative or anything special at all. You can end any sentence with, oh, I got to cut the grass. Well, no, someone had to cut it. Someone had to say it. It doesn't mean shit. It doesn't mean it. But the way you say it makes it seem like it's substantive. So this dude, I don't know the guy's name that you sent me, but for him to act like what Stephen A. is saying is so prophetic, is bothersome to me because it's rooted in the exact same racism that's tearing this country apart to begin with. Because at the end of the day, it's fucking basketball. Like, it's a sport, it's a game. And here we are reducing it to race. And Stephen A., you know, I hate to say it, but with great power comes great responsibility, right? He has power. And for him to use that power to further divide us on some shit that it doesn't even fucking matter, right? It's a game. And then It doesn't matter, and it's not true. So for there to be an entire group of content creators, an entire group of people that are backing this, laughing about it, standing on it, is very worrisome to me.
Well, when he says somebody had to say it, that professes some sort of an implied bravery involved, as if
Right.
he is in fact making a racial statement or standing up for a racial injustice. Somebody had to say it. If it was a casual conversation, then why would you apply that? But again, go back to 28 teams didn't make it to the finals. 26 didn't make it to their conference finals. That means almost every fucking team in the NBA is in the same boat. So how does Stephen A. Smith saying that one team isn't going anywhere make it any different than anywhere else? It was a non-topic until he threw in race at the end to get engagement. It's a non-topic. Every 26 teams don't make it to the conference finals. They're all doing something wrong.
I think the main thing, I think we're missing the point, I think, on this one particular point that you guys brought up at the beginning of this was the historical aspect here. This ain't got nothing to do with race. This is about the historical aspect of what Stephen A. Smith said and the way he said it versus how this goofball, interpreted it. And this is what we go back to, the burden. The burden's on Stephen A. Smith to give you the history lesson, to give you the historical perspective in that moment. So instead of him saying, in fact, no team in history was ever led by, whatever, he should have said, they can be the first trio to do it since so-and-so, so-and-so, and so-and-so. And give you that moment, give you that education. That's how you educate people, Stephen A. Smith. And the burden's on you. You're the professional. You're the one with the hundreds and thousands of subscribers. The burden shouldn't be on me. I shouldn't have to do a freaking 30-minute video talking about the last white dudes that won a championship for the historical record of it. I shouldn't have to do this. Stephen A. Smith should have done that. He should have told you about Paul Iverson. He should have told you about Tom Gola and Neil Johnston and the Philadelphia Warriors. He should have told you about these teams. But why would he tell you about these teams? They don't give a damn about any of these teams, man. So when he says in history, it's not even about the race aspect. It's about you making it historical and you being wrong and you having that burden as educating the people in that moment, man. Freaking idiots out here. Stupid ass people. And everybody want to say history all the time. That's what pisses me off. Because everybody out here want to speak historical. You fools don't know apparently what the hell's going on. I was listening to Stephen A. Smith the other day in that same clip, and he was talking about white guys. And this man brought up John Stockton on the Utah Jazz. But he said, you had Karl Malone there. You had Karl Malone. Then he proceeded to say, even when you had John Stockton and you had Jeff Hornacek and you had Mark Eaton there, you had Byron Russell. And I'm like, Byron Russell never played with Mark Eaton on the Utah Jazz.
Thank you.
And neither did Jeff Hornacek. I'm like, what are you rambling on about? You're just rambling on and on and on. You don't even know what you're saying. So again, you're not even being accurate historically.
In addition to AOH, you pointed this out. No mention of Greg Ostertag, right? Greg Ostertag would eat in today's NBA, by the way. And that's soft-ass Greg Ostertag from the quote-unquote white Utah Jazz, who, to your point, AOH, would probably have a ring if not for Jordan. By the way.
I certainly don't want to sing the praises of Ostertag, but he did get past the Houston Rockets and the LA Shaq and Kobe Lakers. Like, it's got to be something working there. And Stephen A. Smith left him out. He was part of the starting three. And someone left a comment reminding me about the 2002-03 Sacramento Kings. This is how non-issue it is to me. I didn't even think about bringing up Turkoglu and Stojakovic and Vlade all together on that team.
Wasn't Pollard on that team?
And Scott Pollard.
Scott Pollard, right.
Anyways, yeah, but Robin, you've mentioned this before. Analysts today no longer educate, and you were there to provide NBA history and help people understand it better. Stephen A. Smith makes sure that you understand it worse. There's a lack of understanding.
Yep.
One, as we've talked about, there's no accountability for them to be accurate, for them to give perspective, for them to give context, for them to educate.
No.
All they do is, like I said, I don't even call them analysts anymore. They're narrativists. Whatever fits the narrative, they run with. It doesn't matter if it's true, if it's accurate, if it's correct. It's just what gets the clicks and views or sells the story that they're trying to sell. So if they can use race to try to sell stories, they're going to do it.
I mean, think about being a true competitor. I used to talk about in some of my videos about Michael Jordan never caring about the name on the back of the jersey. He didn't give a damn about who these guys were. They're like, oh yeah, who's Jeff Hornacek? Who's Dan Marley? Who's this guy? Who's that guy? And they talk about slow, unathletic white guys. The LeBron James fans started that years ago. They've been trying to mock the guys that have been guarding Michael Jordan as slow, unathletic white guys. But Michael Jordan never took Jeff Hornacek lightly. He never took Danny Ainge lightly. And I told you, Danny Ainge is more athletic than your favorite athlete, man. Danny Ainge was a 3-sport All-American, man, when he was in high school. The dude could have played professional baseball. He could have played professional football. He was an all-state wide receiver, just like LeBron James when he was in high school. So when you talk about some of the athletic achievements of some of these other guys, these white dudes, Michael Jordan never cared about the name on the back of the jersey. So he went at Jeff Hornacek the same way he went at Joe Dumars. He went at Dan Marley the same way he went at Dennis Rodman. He went at these guys the same way. It didn't matter who he was going against. Oh, man, he's white. I can have an easy night tonight. It didn't matter if it was, any of these guys and what they look like their skin color wise, man.
Well, peep this, Robin. Wasn't it JJ Redick? Wasn't he originally the one who called Jordan's era plumbers and bus drivers? Wasn't that JJ Redick who originated that whole terminology? Yep. And look, now he's coaching LeBron. He's doing podcasts with him. It all comes full circle. All of these guys come out of the same rat's nest. That's why it's the same people propping him up. And any independent media members, any organizations that have nothing to do with him will probably tell you the truth. But if you're a Tristan Thompson, if you're a JJ Redick, if you still have an association with him that benefits you, then you're gonna do whatever you can to change his narrative. It's clear as day, to pick apart.
Yep,
for sure.
Word.
Real quick, guys, I need to get to some of these supers before we get too far behind on them. Daniel Parker, 1200. Cavs are a domestic abuse girlfriend that keeps taking LeBron back. He won't drain my bank account and leave me this time. Oh, that is true. Chaps 37. Share this capital with Robin AOH. How do we get Robin back to monetization?
What'd you say, August?
Yeah, next month I should be back monetized, man. I tell you guys, don't worry about that stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? They can't hold you down for long.
Oh, no. Vincent Garcia, 6078, the hype man, sports and fitness rants, the cranky one, AOH.
And the government project, SPEAM.
Nope. That's fine. I'll work my way back up.
Project.
Praise the Don. Y'all got to get Michael Jordan fans are the best and NMB sports back on here.
Yeah, you're right.
Let's see. We only got a few more here.
Yeah, I think Dart might be making a comeback. So we'll see what happens with Dart.
That's what I heard. He had a debate channel for a short time, but it just wasn't kicking off. Machiavelladon 77777. Good to see you guys. He's got a great soul.
He's got great soul.
Praise the Dawn. It was 100% racist, but they don't believe black people can be racist. And I'm sick of sugarcoating it. If for a white guy, he'd be labeled a racist. I think that's probably true.
Absolutely.
Well, that brings us back to, if you put the shoe on the other foot, is it good behavior or not? Would you?
Well,
would you
that's
have
the thing.
Would you have reacted?
Al Sabag, guys, I would love to hear your take on the bubble chip. What was the worst thing about it? Do you think the NBA should have canceled it?
Yes.
Yes, they should have canceled it.
Yes,
absolutely.
In fact, they probably didn't cancel it just for LeBron James. He smelled blood in the water. It's like, oh, here's an easy opportunity.
Well, remember.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Sabirs.
He was adamantly against it at first until he realized that it was advantageous to him and AD, and it gave them a legitimate chance to win. Then, when all of the other players decided against it and were opposed, he was all on board and was throwing his weight around to make it happen.
He's like, wait a minute.
Benefited the Lakers most of all.
That
Those
it
fans-
was actually a little different than that. Siberius, if you remember, the story was that first he wanted everybody out. He was opposed to it. Everyone should go home and be with their families, so that when he won, it was like he didn't really want it. That's how the media was trying to spin it back then. My bad, AOH.
Okay,
Go ahead.
Okay.
Well, if you remember, Michael Jordan also was in favor of them continuing the season. So, I talked about this in a video a while ago about how Michael Jordan, in fact, actually assisted LeBron James, in that championship run by, being an advocate for them continuing the season. And Michael Jordan talked about the players having, a finalization to the season,
Right.
Really being unfair for the players to not have an end to the season. They were just going to leave it with no ending. And he didn't think that was really fair to a lot of the players. So he talked about it being an advocate for them continuing the season. So, there were a lot of people that wanted to stop. A lot of people that, were in favor of them continuing to play. But there were a lot of things that the Lakers as a, franchise and as a team were allowed to do that other teams weren't allowed to do.
LeBron was allowed to leave. He left notably at least once to go to some kind of party. And everybody was saying like he shouldn't be allowed back in, but they kind of skirted around the rules. They said the party he was at was outdoors, so he wasn't technically breaking protocol.
If he should have gone anywhere, it should have been to visit his family, because wasn't that what he was whining about? I'm doing a bit without my family.
Well, and also, the Lakers were practicing when they weren't supposed to be practicing. That, right. 3-4 months or whatever they had off. Without that time off, there's no way that Street Clothes Davis plays all those games.
Right.
Now, here's LeBron changing his mind. Oh, wait a minute. A lot of the teams aren't taking it seriously. Some guys aren't even going to participate. There won't be any fans there getting in my head that I have to get kicked out. Okay, I'm on board.
No pressure. This idea that it was the hardest finals because it was an even play. No, there's no pressure. There's no fan interaction. There's no. It's the exact opposite of spectacle, of sport.
Timeline. When did they come out with the idea that it was the hardest ever? As soon as the Lakers tanked the next season with an embarrassing season, it was Stephen A. fucking Smith's stupid ass that came out with that idea. Another distraction piece. How many narratives thrown out by ESPN are timed with convenient distraction from LeBron James shitting the bed?
I would say his I Promise school opening is the most prevalent one right after they lost. He opened up the school like a week later.
Oh, see, I hadn't even put that one together.
Interesting.
Yeah, that was back in his wearing business suits with shorts and a briefcase and glasses with no lenses days.
Oh, but no purse yet?
No, he hadn't graduated to purses. But no, the I Promise school was announced shortly after one of their losses to the Warriors. One of their many.
Yeah, that was with the glasses, or the glasses with no lenses, just the frames.
Yep.
That was during that whole time period.
Yep.
It's funny. You guys brought up some of the things that LeBron James has been an advocate of, and then he's not an advocate of those things. The same thing with the play-in tournament. Remember when they first brought the play-in tournament? LeBron just like, who came up with this stupid stuff?
He should be fired.
He's being benefited by the play-in tournament.
Yep, absolutely.
Somebody want to read this last super that we've got?
I'll read it just to prove I can read because I'm tired of AOH saying shit. Shout out to Star Marvel 7673. There should be a doc about LBJ whole career being ruled by his fear. Definitely true. And the doc with MJ final quote from his Hall of Fame speech: LBJ career is an illusion. Shout out to Star Marvel. Absolute facts.
Yup, I like that. Shout out to Star Marvel.
And you read that very well, Spam.
Thank you. I don't need your affirmation. Let's just keep going.
Oh, wow.
You misused the word affirmation. I can't let it go.
I did. I'm glad you caught that. Thank you for correcting me. I should know better. Fuck you.
So one of the things I had queued up here is some of LeBron James' narcissistic comments. And they're so absolutely disgusting that, it's going to be hard for us to get through them all. But I'm gonna go ahead and bring them up on the screen. We'll see if we can get through any of them. So first one, I'm a winner. I'm a competitor. That's what I do. It doesn't make sense for me to go over and shake somebody's hand. So who wants to address that first?
I mean,
I
listen.
I don't want to
Go
go
ahead,
first. No, I don't want to go first.
I mean, listen, I'm not gonna go too crazy on this one because we just talked about a lot of the shaking of the hands with the Victor Wembanyama fiasco in the NBA Finals, and the reaction, from someone like Jason Williams and saying that you don't have to shake hands and shaking hands only for children and stuff like that, which doesn't make any sense to me because again, we're holding the children to a higher standard than the professionals. I don't know what we're doing now.
Exactly.
But when we talk about LeBron James and the competitor thing, right? To me, this is an excuse here because he's saying, yeah, I'm so much of a competitor, man, that I can't even shake hands. And to me, wouldn't the opposite be more impressive? That you're so competitive that even when in defeat, you're willing and able to go and shake hands with the people that just whooped your ass? Because when you think about someone like Michael Jordan repeatedly getting his ass whooped by Detroit Pistons, man, and we all know that he's a competitor. We don't have to say he's a competitor. We don't got to talk about it. We saw that he was a competitor, but he still stayed there and shook hands all those times. You know how much I probably burned Michael Jordan to shake them dudes' hands after they were grabbing his ankles and elbowing him all series long? But he
Absolutely.
still did that stuff. So if you're that much of a competitor and you're willing to shake hands, that actually is more impressive to me than you being like, yeah, man, I couldn't even shake hands because I was so mad because I'm such a competitor. No, that's a sore loser.
I think it's even worse when you add the idea that when he's winning, when he's front running, he's the most demonstrative person on the court. Robin, not to bring, I think it was the Knicks, not to bring up your Knicks, but I remember they were blowing out the Knicks one night and those assholes were on the sideline playing, trying to flip a Coke bottle up or whatever that stupid ass game was, like on the sidelines, dicking around, fucking around when they're up. But when they're losing, he's over there pouting, he's kicking and screaming, he's literally having temper tantrums. So I think it's the contrast of when you're up, bro, the world's your oyster. Like, you're the greatest of all time. But when you're losing, well, I'm a competitor. I'm not shaking nobody's hands, blah, blah, blah. Motherfucker, I've seen you lose countless times. And I've seen you shake hands if you're buddies with, the other guy on the team, which more often than not, you are. Yep. So which one is it?
Yep.
Well, but it's all of those things. First of all, he's not a winner. You can't be classified as a winner when you have most playoff losses all time, most regular season losses all time, most finals losses all time. Can anyone name a time that he's ever been a competitor? Because when he loses, he'll walk off the court early. He needs to get to his process. He'll be shrugging his shoulders. He'll be on his knees crying. When he wins, he's crowning himself. He's doing the whole, flex or, whatever the hell he does with his shoulders when he's trying to flex on somebody, and it's just embarrassing as hell. Like, nothing in the statement is true.
Nope.
You're too weak to go shake their hands. That's what the problem is. This next one is even more disgusting. Cleveland fans are awesome, but I mean, even my family gets spoiled at times watching me do the things I do on and off the court.
What does that even mean?
It means nothing. Other
Right.
than
What does that mean?
self-aggrandizing.
It's just word salad. What?
It's
They get
self-aggrandizing
spoiled
for
at
the sake.
times.
Nobody else is going to say it, and nobody else believes it.
Oh my goodness gracious. You guys, you know what I think about immediately? I think about LeBron James going to his son's high school basketball games and doing like a dunk contest at halftime. Like, everything has to be about you. Even your kid's high school game has to be about you. You can't just be in the stands and have everybody be like, yo, man, LeBron James is here. No, during that halftime, you got to go on the court and do a dunk contest. Meanwhile, you still never did one in the NBA.
Exactly. I mean, he even when he stole Jordan's chalk routine and then he made it into something disgusting.
Yep.
Because when Jordan did it, it was about, hey, I'm joking around with the commenters on the side. I need to put chalk on my hands, but I might as well make a joke out of it.
Yep.
And then LeBron turned it into self-fucking worship where he wants people to take his picture. Where, I mean, he's throwing the chalk like 10 feet in the air or whatever. It became about self-worship.
I'm joking, but I'm not.
Game.
I'm joking, but I'm not. What if that chalk got in some little kid's eye? Seriously, because all that shit's not fucking necessary. It's not.
No.
It's all an act, right? But seriously, like, what if that chalk got in some little kid's eye? Throwing that shit around.
But you know what's crazy, Siberius, man, that's a great point that you bring up because you speak to the lack of originality and authenticity of LeBron James, man. He's not authentic. Like you mentioned, the Michael Jordan chalk thing was authentic. It came about authentic, man, because Michael Jordan was with those guys. You know, those are the announcers for the Chicago Bulls. They traveled with the team. He developed a bond, authentic, organically. Michael Jordan was original. LeBron James is not original. He's not authentic. And these are the moments that we're talking about with, I mean, even the number. You're not even authentic and original enough to have a different. Even Kobe didn't take number 23.
Robin, and Siberius can attest to this. Siberius can attest to this as a sneakerhead. Even LeBron's sneaker line, they're starting to take after Kobe's now. Even his sneakers, they're starting to model after Kobe's.
That's a good point, Speen.
I mean, can anyone name anything that LeBron has done that he didn't copy from somebody else? From both of the numbers that he's worn to making a Space Jam movie to the chalk routine, I don't think he has unique thoughts, period.
I've never seen anybody uniquely, and someone mentioned this in the chat, and I'm being semi-serious. I've never seen somebody uniquely kick fans out and have the power to kick out as many fans as he has. Shout out to whoever mentioned that in the chat. But that is his thing. I've been watching basketball I'm for 30 years now, 35 years now. I've never seen a player do that to fans. Actually, I don't think I've ever seen it until I saw LeBron start to do it. And he does it consistently. And what's worse is I'll never forget the one time he said, somebody said something about Bronny, blah, 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 and it was rooted in racism, blah, blah, blah. And it's always something. It's always, he's always the biggest victim of the day, whatever happens. You mean to tell me, like, weren't people telling Paul Pierce, like, there was a sign famously, someone holding up saying, Paul Pierce, I hope you get stabbed, directly after he had just gotten stabbed out. And I don't even think they kicked that fan out. So you mean to tell me that LeBron is the only one who's having these hurtful things said to him where he can, again, pick up a referee, pull him by his arm like a battered spouse over to the fan and say, hey, they don't need to be here anymore. Even though they said whatever they felt like saying probably wasn't even that bad. There's no witnesses, just like the stupid bullshit where someone wrote the N-word on his house, quote unquote. There were no witnesses to prove anything, just that LeBron James's, feelings were hurt. These people got to go.
Well, and the part that makes it most egregious, like you said, there are no witnesses. It's the referee or the security taking LeBron's word for it.
Right.
And these people that probably paid thousands of dollars for these ringside tickets are told to leave. I don't understand why the fans don't say, you can't tell me to leave. There's nothing that says that I can't call him a bitch if he's acting like a bitch.
There's probably some fine print on the tickets, I'll bet, that says the arena reserves the right to kick you out for whatever reason they choose. That's my guess.
Wow. So Hoop Oracle actually brings up a good point, because I had heard this before, that he wrote it on his house, that there was video of it and it was covered up. I had heard that before.
I'd never heard that before.
I can't substantiate it, but I did hear that same thing.
I'm shocked he can write that.
See how fake LeBron James is, man? Fake as hell when you have to, once again, create a situation so you can create sympathy, right? So you could be the victim. LeBron James always the victim. That's why I said LeBron James is not a true competitor. Even if we think about Kobe Bryant, and sometimes you'll hear LeBron James fans try to trash Kobe Bryant as, an imitation Michael Jordan or a guy who tried to copy Michael Jordan. Kobe Bryant was true to himself. Kobe Bryant was not fake. he really was cut from the same cloth as Michael Jordan. So this is how he was able to earn the respect of a Michael Jordan. This wasn't some fakeness of Kobe Bryant trying to be like Michael Jordan. He knew what the bar was. He saw Michael Jordan as the bar, and he saw what he needed to get over. So he tried to beat Michael Jordan by outdoing Michael Jordan at Michael Jordan, which we all know is impossible to do. But we all give Kobe Bryant and respect Kobe Bryant for trying to do it. But Kobe Bryant was authentic, and he was true to himself. That was who he was. He was truly a competitor like that. LeBron James ain't no competitor like that. He really thinks he is cut from that cloth, when we clearly see that he's not cut from that cloth. So when we see Kobe Bryant go about his career and the things that we hear him speak, the things we hear him say, the way he speaks like a Michael Jordan, the mannerisms, the game, right? He paid homage to Michael Jordan during these moments. And again, he understood the bar and understood that Michael Jordan was the standard.
Absolutely.
Shout out to whoever keeps saying La Homelander also, by the way, because that's such a great comparison for anybody that watches
really
The Boys. Because man, if that's not Homelander, this dude that like, you're gonna love me no matter what I say, you're gonna love me. That is LeBron James. Whoever said that, shout out to them.
That's good.
So this next one, equally disgusting. I'm only one guy. I took Hito in the first game and Rashard hit the game-winning shot. I took Rashard in the second game and Hito hit the shot. If I could clone myself, we'd be all right, but I can't.
Oh,
what?
God.
What was the context of that?
2010.
So a reporter was asking him
9.
essentially about the defense that he played. Eddie TV, what's up, man? Hello?
Oh, snap, Eddie TV.
Shout out to ATV.
Eddie, can you hear us?
Holla if you hear me.
Yo.
Oh, there you go. There you go. What's up, man?
What up, fellas? How y'all doing?
What up?
Yeah,
What up?
thank you for joining us. I'm gonna ask you, since you just joined us, you have any thoughts on that comment? I'm only one guy. I took Hito in the first game and Rashard hit the winning shot. I took Rashard in the second game and Hito hit the shot. If I could clone myself, we'd be all right, but I can't.
Say that one more time. I caught the Hedo and the Rashard part, but what was the question?
So he said if he could clone himself, they'd be all right on defense, but he can't.
What the hell? Why can't you just play defense? Why you got to be somebody else to play defense? I mean, that's
the question.
pretty damn simple. That's pretty damn simple if you ask me. Why can't you just play defense like Rashard Lewis? Why can't you just do that?
I mean, that would be nice.
Yeah, I mean, the dude is ridiculous, man. He don't know how to be himself. Not at all. He always want to be somebody else. That's part of his damn problem.
It is. So real quick before we get on to I think AOH had some questions for you about your most recent video. But let's knock out these ludicrous LeBron comments and then we'll move on to that.
All right, cool.
A LeBron James team is never desperate. That's insane.
They're always desperate for another trade. They're always desperate for another free agent. LeBron James' middle name is desperate. He's
Wait,
desperate
was that his statement? Was he speaking in the third person?
He was speaking in the third person.
You can't make this shit up, man.
Nope. Well, so the thing that makes me laugh about that is when he was talking about OKC and he said, they're a championship level team over there. We're not. How could the greatest player of all time supposedly say they're not a championship level team when they themselves are on the team?
Exactly.
How is that possible?
That doesn't make
Jordan
any
could
sense.
never say that. Bird, Magic, Kareem, Wilt, none of those guys would ever say they're a championship level team and we're not. Just the simple fact I'm on that team makes them a championship level team.
Well, peep this, Siberius. Think about this. When Stephen A. Smith was interviewing Iman Shumpert, they put a graphic up of LeBron's tenure with the Lakers. And one of the facts in the graphic, speaking of success and championships, the 2020 championship, which we all know was bullshit, but under successes, it also said made playoffs 6 of 8 seasons. So if I'm thinking of greatness, right, just making the playoffs to me is not success. But literally a graphic gets put up about the so-called GOAT. When you talk about his tenure in LA and why it was successful, one of those successes was purely making the playoffs 6 of the 8 seasons.
And you know what's funny, Speen? If once again, if we look into the details of that statement and we think about the other seasons that they did not make the playoffs, then we can remember that one season in 2022 when, in fact, LeBron James told everyone to keep that same energy. So you guys not only missed the playoffs, but you missed the play-in. And you missed the play-in with what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Hall of Famers. I ran out. 1, 2, 3. I don't even know how many Hall of Famers on that damn team. And you chose to keep that same energy. So again, man, when you dig into the details of the times that they did not make the play-in, because it's not just making the playoffs. They made the play-in several seasons during his time in LA.
Well, because I made a video about this recently, and I was pointing out that for 6 years of his time in the Lakers, they didn't make the playoffs twice. They got swept twice and gentlemen swept twice.
Yeah.
And then in the 7th year of his 8th year, they won the bubble ring.
Right. And this
How
is
is that
all meanwhile, the Lakers are plus 500 at the free throw line almost all of these seasons. I told you just this past season, they were plus 450 something, whatever they were at the free throw line. So you have all this going for you throughout the regular season. You're playing with someone like Anthony Davis for all these seasons. You're playing with the Luka Doncic for another season. And you have all this help, all the free agents, the trades that the Lakers continue to make. You're making max money, even though you continue to not give max effort. You continue to miss all these games. All of that going on. And those are the results that you get from LeBron James' time in LA. LeBron James a favorite to win. Lakers in 5. They lose in 5 games. They blame Luka Doncic, who's one of the premier players in the league. So even being one of the premier guys in the league is not good enough for you to escape the pressure of getting all the blame when you play with LeBron James.
Well, and then like you said, they switch it both ways. So Luka was to blame for them losing because he was out of shape or didn't play as well as they expected or doesn't play defense. And then they use him as the excuse because he got injured and wasn't there to play. You can't have it both ways. He can't be garbage and you need him.
Well, like I said, Siberius, I think D Wade is the only legendary player, really only generational player that LeBron has played with that has seemed to go unscathed in terms of blame. Everybody else that he's played with has shouldered the majority of the blame. AD, Luka, Kyrie, Bosh, Chris, right, Chris Bosh. All of these just Kevin Love, again, who's the front man for mental health as a result of playing with LeBron James, right? Like these generational double talents and sometimes triple talents. See Russell Westbrook, right? They've all somehow managed to take on all the blame when the one consistent is this one man. But you have an entire fan base that would tell you, well, no, it's definitely not his fault. Even though here's all this evidence, but generational greatness type evidence to show you otherwise.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Because like I said, not only do you take the blame, but also your legacy takes a hit and you're remembered for being lesser than. All of those guys are remembered for being lesser. Now you got people saying that James Harden's greater than Dwayne Wade now. Like this is where we are now. Because they have to once again trash the guys that LeBron James played with, but at the same time enhance the guys he played against.
It's the never-ending story. It doesn't stop. It doesn't change.
No, because half the guys LeBron James played against, he also played with.
It's crazy.
Hey, can you put up Hoop Oracle's comment? Can you put up Hoop Oracle's comment real quick? It just caught me. It just caught me. I don't know why.
That's actually a pretty good one right there. I like that. That's actually really good.
Because I'm picturing it. I'm picturing his dumb card picking up these cat turds, and I'm just like, well, this is what he gets.
You reap what you sow.
Really good. That's actually really good.
Eddie, you still with us?
Yeah, man, it kicked me out, man.
All right.
back,
Hey,
though.
no problem. I don't know what happened to AOH. I was going to say, he said he had to go real quick. He had some questions for you about your most recent video. I was going to say, but let's talk about it.
What you got?
So, man, I apologize for my fucking brain injury. What's the name of the guy that was in your video?
Tristan Thompson.
Yeah.
Tristan Thompson. Okay. So he was making all of these excuses for LeBron.
Right.
I was gonna say, so yeah, let's just give us a breakdown of your video for all the people that haven't seen it.
Basically, man, he had went on Club Shay Shay and was saying something about how LeBron was supposed to come back. How do you come back somewhere and give somebody the keys to something? He was supposed to give Kyrie the keys to Cleveland somehow, but people don't realize that Kyrie was drafted there. That was his team. He was supposed to carry the Cavaliers, right? So all of a sudden, here comes LeBron showing back up. Oh, I'm going back to Cleveland. I got unfinished business. Kyrie wasn't expecting him to do that, especially when Kyrie was like, hey, he didn't know LeBron was coming back, especially under the conditions which he left when he left Cleveland. He didn't expect him to. But Tristan Thompson also said later on in the interview about how him and Kyrie would run into LeBron, and LeBron would tell them, stay ready, just make sure y'all keep getting better, and then he gonna lie again and say, oh, we knew he was coming back. But you said that now, but that's not what Kyrie said.
No, not at all. And I found that really fascinating when you were talking about that, how LeBron was saying to them, keep getting better, like just leading them along. Mm-hmm. And maybe if you get to this certain level where you can carry me, I'll come back and join your team. That's what it sounded like to me.
I mean, it sounds about right to me, but I mean, they like to say, oh, well, that Cleveland team wasn't a super team. It absolutely was, because the number one option in Cleveland was Kyrie.
Yeah.
Kevin Love was the number one option in Minnesota. And quote unquote, LeBron James was the number one option in Miami. So you put 3 number one options on one team. That's a damn super team.
For sure.
Word, for real.
You could make the argument. You could make the argument that Kevin Love was maybe even a more substantial player in his prime than Chris Bosh was.
Oh, absolutely. He was a walking 2020.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. When you compare the two, when you compare Kevin Love and Chris Bosh, like Chris Bosh was a great third option, a great jumper from the shoulder type big man. But Kevin Love, like you said, Eddie TV, walking double while not even being in shape.
But he pulled him over there. You destroyed his legacy. You destroyed his game. You pulled him out the paint. You put him on the perimeter. That man is what, 38, 39 years old, and he got a head full of gray hair. You stressed the dude out playing with you, man.
Stressed out.
He stressed the dude out, man.
Exactly. See, that's what we talk about. Your legacy takes a hit when you play alongside LeBron James. Instead of him elevating your legacy and being like, yeah, man, you play with LeBron James, it's going to elevate you. Your legacy takes a hit because they have to continue to crap on you and talk about how good you weren't, so that you make LeBron James look like, yeah, man, LeBron James carrying Kevin Love. He's carrying Kyrie Irving. He's carrying Chris Bosh. Chris Bosh got one of the most important rebounds of LeBron James' career, but LeBron James fans don't ever want to talk about Chris Bosh.
Nope.
Well, he's relegated to a bum now.
Yep.
Both him and Kevin Love.
Yep.
Both
they talking about
their own right, with their own careers, both relegated to bum.
Chris Bosh got relegated to a meme. He's more famous for pouring champagne all over himself with his mouth open than he is having that offensive rebound that saved LeBron's career.
It did. Here's the crazy part. I mentioned in the video as well, because they always like to highlight that damn chase down block. All right, look.
Oh, yeah.
So if the score was 89-89, He was up on the top of the perimeter. He was dancing on Steph. He hit the 3-pointer. 92-89, I believe, at that point, right?
Yep.
So the game was done. It was 93-89. So I believe, if I can remember it right, LeBron James got 2 free throws, correct?
He made 1 or 2.
He made 1 or 2. Okay, all right, that's good. I'm glad you said that. So I made the video. Somebody in my comments said, "Oh, we know Kyrie hit that 3, but LeBron cashed in the clutch free throws." I was like, clutch free throws? So you mean to tell me that he had 2 and he missed 1? So that's a clutch free throw? You split the free throws? That's important? That was important?
And they were up by 3.
And it was up by 3.
If they were down or the score was tied, LeBron James would have been in trouble at that free throw line, man.
Oh,
He wouldn't
yeah.
have went to the basket because if you remember the play, he got fouled by Draymond Green going for the dunk because Draymond Green was going to try to block the dunk. And when he went to the line, he made 1 or 2 to make it a 4-point game. And no one ever talks about Kevin Love playing defense against Steph Curry when Steph Curry was trying to get open to get that shot off.
Robin, do you remember he acted like he broke his whole wrist?
Right, yeah, right, exactly.
Do you remember that? You remember that he fell? That was like one of the original flops. He was rolling around like he fell on his wrist, like someone cut it off with a machete, and it was disgusting.
No, you're right, though. He did react. It was an overreaction from LeBron, a typical reaction from
Right.
LeBron James.
It was a LeBron reaction, not an overreaction. You're right.
Right.
Is that when he came out with the bendable cast?
No, that was after
later.
the
Was later.
losing game 1 against the Warriors.
Okay. I was gonna say I wasn't watching back then. I have to shout out this super because it's relevant to what we're talking about. Michael Vick got a better legacy than anybody that played with the bum.
Oh my goodness.
That shit is so true. And I'm like a dog lover, like super dog lover, right? And I still like Michael Vick better than all these guys. As a matter of fact, most people that associate with LeBron end up being fucking weirdos or jerks or just weird people. And I'm including Richard Jefferson. I know I'm gonna get some comments about that, but he refuses to ever button his shirt up past the middle button. He walks around, he makes these weird sexual innuendos towards other players. You got Iman Shumpert showing up on set high every day. Kendrick Perkins can't formulate a complete thought or sentence. And Shannon Sharp, he sounds like a buddy off of Looney Tunes, Foghorn Leghorn. Everyone has like these weird idiosyncrasies that associate with LeBron James. He doesn't have any normal people in his circle. Not one.
No.
Word.
I never thought of it that way.
Yeah, for real.
That's hilarious.
Right.
That's hilarious. Oh man, that is funny. That's fucking hilarious, man. I ain't even gonna hold you. You see, if you see the dudes that actually stick up for him on YouTube, you can kind of sort of associate that too with them as well. You gotta just pay attention, like that fat light skinned dude on the Speak Easy podcast with Acho and
Oh yeah.
Wait, who?
The fat light skinned dude. I think his name is Kerry.
Because I can't stand Acho.
The fat light skinned dude.
Yeah, I've seen him before.
You know him if you saw him.
Oh man, how could you miss him? How could you forget him?
He said crazy stuff, man.
Oh man, I remember he got on there. I seen this one episode. He was singing that "You Are My Sunshine" and called LeBron James his little Pookie Bear. I'm like, what?
Oh my goodness.
At what point does a man stop being a man?
Right there.
When you
Yeah, I would say
LeBron James
I'd say that's the line right there.
That's how your man card is revoked as soon as you say that shit.
And man, look, my little Pookie Bear is back, LeBron James. I was like, bro, I gotta click this dude up and use this somewhere in the video down in the future. I had to do it, man.
Oh my goodness gracious, man. I can't believe some of the things these guys say, man. Like you said, and all in the name of LeBron James. Y'all doing this for LeBron James? Of all people in the world, you guys act like this for LeBron James, man. I mean, it's just crazy when you think about the way that he acts, the things that he does. I mean, even if you think about the game, we talk about LeBron James' game, the overall game of LeBron James. How could you be excited and be a fan of LeBron James' game? I mean, my goodness, man, there's nothing entertaining about that game.
Robin, I to your point, I think so. Two things. Brian Windhorst should serve as a cautionary tale for every single LeBron fan on the planet. Because if you root for him, it doesn't matter, because if it benefits him, he'll call you weird on national television. He'll stab you in the back on national television with Pat McAfee code switching, changing his entire personality, even though you've rode for him his entire career. He'll stab you in the back. It doesn't matter.
He's currently stabbing his son in the back. So
yes.
You surprised?
Right. Yes. If he'll do that to his family, you think he's going to do that to Brian Windhorst?
Absolutely.
Brian Windhorst does all this, all these reports and all the articles that Brian Windhorst writes in promotion of LeBron James and his career, right? He's always coming on there and creating these narratives around LeBron James. And when he finally, does some actual reporting and says something that LeBron James doesn't appreciate, all of a sudden now he's a weirdo. No, he was a weirdo for promoting you all those years. Now he's not a weirdo.
You know who's a fucking weirdo? Stephen A. Smith is a weirdo for using filters on his own fucking YouTube page.
Man, you have to talk about that.
Listen, I'm so sick of his shit. Any grown man, let alone a grown millionaire, that uses filters for his own YouTube fucking page for his thumbnails deserves to be demonetized. What are we doing here? Like, what are we? I know his hair. Like, I'm bald. What the hell am I saying, right? I can't make hair jokes, right? But you have a Beijing, right? You're going to Turkey. You're getting all these things, but then you say you don't care what people think. A and B, you're throwing up a filter to make yourself look more vascular on your page. But you're already
and he turned it up to 11.
What more? Like, what more do you need? How disingenuous do you actually have to be before becoming a politician?
He did. He turned it up to 11. He looked like the Incredible Hulk roided out.
Robin, he looked like when you do your workouts with the wheelbarrows and the cinder blocks and all that shit that I see you posting. It looks like that.
Oh, that's hilarious, man.
It was
the filter, man. I tell you, filters are crazy out here. A lot of these fake fitness celebrities, they use a lot of filters in their content, to make it seem like, they're stronger or, they're bigger than they really are. And they want you to buy these products for them. So they have to put all these filters on and stuff. It's just crazy how, we talked about some of the AI stuff before. Like, it's gone too far now.
Well, yeah, and what we could use it for as opposed to what we do use it for.
Right.
I mean, who am I to talk? All of my thumbnails are bullshit AI. I'm guilty of it, so I can't say anything.
They fire, though. They fire, for real. Real creative.
Yeah, right. There's a negative and a positive about some of this stuff. We talked about how these people are using this to deceive people. You're not using, AI to deceive people out here. These people use these, Photoshops. They use, these doctored up videos to deceive people into buying products or spending money on something that they want you to buy. That's when the problem comes.
Agreed.
Sad but true. Man, I hate to cut us short, but we've been at this for almost an hour and 45 minutes.
Shit, it's almost 2 hours. Cut it short.
Today.
Yeah.
So I need to go eat before I die.
Well, appreciate it, fellas, man. I'm sorry I came so late, man. I had to finish up my work day, but I appreciate
No, hey, that's all right, man.
Yeah. Yeah, no, thanks for coming through, Eddie TV.
No doubt. Appreciate it, fellas. No doubt. Yeah, have a good one, man.
Yeah, you too.
Yeah, appreciate all the supers. Thank you, Sports and Fitness Rants, Eddie TV, AOH, Speam. I appreciate you guys joining us. And we will see you next Wednesday.
Yeah, man. Again, man, thank you very much. I'll catch you guys on the next one, man. Great show.
Peace.
Catch you guys on the next one.